Welcome to Reel. My name is Patrick Erickson, and today I'm going to be joined by Jeff Neppel.
Hey, thanks for having me on today, Patrick.
In this Reel episode, we'll be reviewing the first half of the Star Wars Ahsoka show.
So far, 4 of the 8 episodes have been released, which means it is time for a mid-season review.
Without wasting any more time, grab your lightsaber, blue milk, and blaster. We're in for a ride. Jeff, hit the hyperdrive.
Time for a trailer.
War is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create. We are no Jedi.
I started hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
What happens when we find Thrawn?
Power, such as you've never dreamed.
I've spent most of my life fighting a war. That's why I'm trying to convince you to help me prevent another one. You and I both know who could help you with this.
She's still just as stubborn as ever.
I bet your master found you difficult at times.
Anakin never got to finish my training. I walked away from him, just like I walked away from Sabine.
You never made things easy for me, Master.
As a Jedi, sometimes you have to make the decision no one else can. But I'm counting on you to see this through.
Nice haircut. Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
Buckle up.
If we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain. You have no power.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
I'm not here to discuss my past.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Ahsoka has been a long-awaited show among Star Wars fans since 2018, when the Star Wars Rebels series ended on a cliffhanger.
The show is directed by Dave Filoni and stars Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, Natasha Liu Bordizzo as Sabine Wren.
Hold up now, before giving too much information about the Ahsoka show, let's talk about some of the context leading up to it.
Oh yeah, I was getting ahead of myself. Would you like to give some context from the Rebels show?
Of course! Rebels starts with a young Force user named Ezra Bridger joining a group of 5 rebels.
The main antagonist of the Rebels show is named Thrawn, or better known as Grand Admiral Thrawn.
In the end of the show, Ezra Bridger and Grand Admiral Thrawn have a showdown that ends with both of them being sent to an unknown location.
And that's where the Ahsoka show starts. About 5 years later, Ahsoka finds a clue leading to the whereabouts of Ezra.
But the Empire also wants the clue because they are on the hunt for Thrawn.
So now the race is on. The Empire versus Ahsoka and her apprentice Sabine.
But it's not going to be easy. The Empire has hired 2 evil Force users to counter Ahsoka and Sabine.
Okay, so now the context has been given. Let's talk about the cast and crew a little bit.
Definitely. So the director, Dave Filoni, has been directing Star Wars shows since 2008.
A lot of his well-known works consist of Star Wars shows, but I found it pretty interesting that he was the director for many of the first episodes in the first season of Avatar: The Last Airbender on Nickelodeon.
That's really cool. Did you know that Rosario Dawson, the actress playing Ahsoka, is not the same voice actor that Ahsoka had in the Clone Wars?
I did not know that. That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of other really cool behind-the-scenes facts, too.
That sounds awesome. Let's watch a video that shows some of the behind-the-scenes facts of the Ahsoka show.
There are no more, no less, a master and an apprentice.
Star Wars always has these great master-apprentice relationships.
Remember, a Jedi can feel the Force flowing through him.
You see that handing down of mastery, the teaching, the developing, the growing.
Do or do not. There is no try.
It's very much the idea of apprenticeship. The need for those two groups to come together in order to pass down the knowledge and to help save the world, in the case of Star Wars.
When I left you, I was but a learner. Now I am the master.
Only a master of evil, Darth.
Those life lessons are what make these characters some of the most iconic characters worldwide.
The war is just beginning, and I will not be the last Jedi.
All of that wisdom gets passed down, over those generations. We have Qui-Gon Jinn, who's the master of Obi-Wan, who's the master of Anakin Skywalker. And by being trained by Anakin, Ahsoka was part of that legacy as well.
Time for
some Force Awakening facts and trivia.
Filming took place in Los Angeles, California, and roughly took 6 months to film, ranging from May of 2022 October of 2022.
The budget for the show hasn't been revealed, but it's estimated to be well over $100 million.
Since the release date of the show in August 22nd, the show has gotten some galactic numbers, bringing in roughly 14 million views and 784 million minutes of watching worldwide, and that's just on the first episode.
We don't know yet how much money the show's brought in, but from the release date data, it's pretty safe to assume the grand total is going to be a really big number.
Did you know that Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was offered a role in the show but turned it down? I wonder why. Well, now it's time for a word from our sponsor.
3, 2, 1.
With what's happening today with smartphones, everybody has the ability to shoot video. But not everybody has the ability to edit that video and communicate a thought and idea in a professional way with high production value. That's where we come in. This particular program allows a student to do single cam productions, multi-cam productions, short films, corporate promos, things like that. So there's a lot of different things that a student can learn in the video production area.
What I love here is the practical work that I can learn. It's like a non-pressure environment, and I like that about it.
All those things that you're not going to learn unless you do it. You can read about it in a book, but that's not going to help you when you're on set.
Now for the part that everyone has been waiting for. What do you like and dislike about the Ahsoka show?
Well, first of all, the lightsaber battles are epic. The choreography is so good.
I completely agree with you there. The special effects seem to have gone to a whole new level in this show. Everything looks so real, it's amazing.
They've also really nailed Ahsoka's personality and mannerisms like it was from the Clone Wars.
Yeah, they've done a great job with her. And also on the technical side of the show, they've just done a great job overall.
And the story's been fantastic. I really like it when shows don't make it easy for the protagonist to succeed.
Again, I agree with you. I normally have Star Wars shows on in the background while doing other things, but with this show, I can't take my eyes off the screens. I have to sit down on the couch and watch it.
Yeah, I feel like the reason for that is because the show's using already known and loved characters to tell this story, along with making new characters that are actually interesting.
The antagonist Baylan has a really interesting backstory. Having been a Jedi Padawan before turning to the dark side, you don't see that too often in Star Wars.
And speaking of Baylan, who do you think he is? I mean, he's not really fit the whole description of a Sith, but he's not really a Jedi.
I think he's a completely different class of his own. In the 4th episode, he gave Sabine a chance to live and join him, and then he called his apprentice off of her when she tried to kill Sabine. It's like no other Force user would do that.
Yeah, and I really love how he gave Sabine a chance to join him. You know, the fact that she chose to is really interesting to me. It gives you a deeper idea of who Sabine is deep down inside.
I really like that she's not like all of the other Jedi characters who have some unbreakable will and won't listen to reason. It's like she listened to what Baylan had to say and then makes a decision based off what she thinks is best for her.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I'm excited to see what comes of Baylan. I think he's a really interesting character.
I'm more excited to see Thrawn. My only complaint about the series so far is that Thrawn hasn't been seen yet.
I mean, but it makes sense why. You know, Thrawn and Ezra, they're the end goal of the show, and if people have been waiting for the closing to the story for nearly 6 years, they're not just going to give us Thrawn right away.
I half agree with you. I feel like the show should have been them trying to find Ezra and Thrawn early and then dealing with the repercussions of that for the rest of the show.
But then if they did that, how would they keep people to keep watching? You know, if Ezra and Thrawn are safe, then kind of what's the point of the entire rest of the season?
It brings a whole new possibility of tension. Like, what will they do once they find him? Where will they go? What'll happen?
I guess we're just going to have to agree to disagree on this one.
Apparently we will. Well, with that being said, what rating do you give this show?
I think I'm going to give this one 5 out of 5 reels. You know, I'm really loving this show so far. I'm really excited to see how it goes down in the last half of the season. So 5 out of 5 for me. What about you? What do you rate it?
Well, despite my one complaint about them not showing Thrawn fast enough, I'm still giving the show 5 out of 5 reels. They've done so many things really well that just one thing, I couldn't knock it down from that. I'm always waiting for Tuesday nights for episodes to drop, super excited, and I'm not able to look away when they're on. It's been a fantastic show.
Yeah, this has probably been the best Star Wars show yet. Better than Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that doesn't take much.
Absolutely true. All right, well, folks, that's going to do it for today's episode. I hope everyone's force was awakened.
Jeff, why did you bring up that lackluster movie?
It wasn't that bad.
Well, we'll let the viewers decide on that one. But before you go, make sure to check out our Facebook page and YouTube page at Reel to Reel for new episodes live every Friday at 10:30 and noon.
And with that being said, have a good weekend, everybody, and
may the Force be with you.